From people literally jumping on top of a police vehicle to rioters throwing fireworks at cops. These are the times when cops get blocked by morons. Starting with this officer who was clearly in a hurry, lights and sirens going full blast. But the driver ahead didn't seem too concerned. He didn't slow down right away and even cut the cop off before finally moving aside. That wasn't the only time law enforcement had trouble getting through. In Omaha, Nebraska, workers at a meatpacking plant physically blocked ICE vehicles after a raid at the facility. Some of the employees, including undocumented immigrants, threw themselves onto the vehicles to stop them from taking away those who had been detained. Tensions weren't just high in Omaha. Over in California, things were heating up too. Protests broke out in Inglewood, California, where hundreds blocked traffic and shut down both sides of the 405 freeway for hours. The demonstration followed a large Black Lives Matter meeting and remained peaceful, with protesters chanting and dancing in the street, but that didn't stop them from getting in the way of the cops. While that protest stayed peaceful, not every demonstration played out the same way. During the Summit of the Americas in Los Angeles on June 8, 2022, a woman protesting abortion restrictions ran onto a closed street near President Biden's motorcade. It got so bad that a Secret Service agent had to step in. She was arrested after resisting. And just like that, another confrontation took a much more forceful turn. This Pyramid Lake Paiute tribal ranger drove through the barricade in a pickup, damaging both the setup and his vehicle. The ranger had to act fast.
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
Daryl!
You better move. You're gonna go back.
They're chained! We're environmental protesters! Please! He's hurting me! Please! He's hurting me! Please! Please! He's hurting me!
Our friend is getting
Please!
She was just standing here. What the
He's hurting me!
Things escalated in LA, with police taking a much more tactical approach to crowd control. On June 14, 2025, LAPD and LA County Sheriff's deputies used mounted units, tear gas, and less lethal rounds to break up the No King's Day protests downtown. While officers were dealing with that, another crowd was already pushing things even further. During anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles, rioters threw large chunks of concrete, fireworks, and even scooters at police. Officers had to take cover under an overpass as the crowd hurled objects onto the closed southbound 101 freeway. While that clash got physical, not every standoff involved flying objects and chaos. On June 19, 2025, ICE agents showed up near Dodger Stadium asking to access the parking lots, but the Dodgers denied them entry. DHS later said CBP vehicles were briefly on site for unrelated reasons, while ICE claimed they were never there. Not every standoff stayed that calm. On June 11, 2025, amid protests in downtown LA over federal immigration raids, a mounted police officer charged into a crowd after demonstrators blocked the path and refused to move. The crowd quickly scattered after that. But this wouldn't be the last time officers found themselves blocked in by a crowd. Outside a warehouse near a Home Depot on Alondra Boulevard in Paramount, crowds gathered as Border Patrol agents detained individuals and loaded them into vehicles. Protesters surrounded the area and blocked the police from leaving. And just when things couldn't get more chaotic, they did. In Atlanta, a man jumped onto a police vehicle and smashed the windshield before quickly running off. While that incident was sudden and aggressive, others were slowed down by something as simple as gridlock. On June 12, 2025, an undercover NYPD vehicle and an ambulance got stuck in heavy traffic on the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge, and somehow the protesters didn't care. While While some officers were stuck waiting, others had their hands full with a more unpredictable situation. During rush hour in New York City, NYPD officers responded to a situation in traffic when a homeless man began yelling and shouting, "Shut up!" at bystanders and officers.
Out of the way, no double parking on 86th Street. Everybody needs to move. Go. Move up.
Another unit ran into its own set of headaches trying to get through. An NYPD vehicle responding to an emergency at Rockefeller Center got held up by black taxis parked in a no-standing zone and drivers hesitating at a red light. Officers warned the cab drivers they'd be hit with a $115 summons if they didn't move within 5 minutes.
Right, move.
And while some officers were tied up with traffic violations, others were dealing with much more volatile crowds. Tensions rose as Minneapolis police moved in to clear barricades on Lake Street in Uptown, where protesters had set up a memorial for police brutality victims. As officers worked to reopen the street, some protesters threw debris, prompting police to respond with less lethal rounds.
Why? Pepper spray, ma'am. Why? Back up. Do not! Back up. Pepper spray. Just pepper spray. Back up.
Another officer got blocked in a very different way. While Santa Monica police were responding to an active shooter report, a pedestrian unexpectedly stepped into the road, blocking the path of a police vehicle. That slowed one response down, and in New York, another was pushing hard to keep things moving. The NYPD was clearly escorting 2 FDNY ambulances through heavy traffic and needed to move fast. An officer had to use the loudspeaker to get drivers to clear the way, making sure the ambulances could get through without delay.
Get out of the way. Drive through the intersection safely.
On the other hand, these cops ran into a different kind of traffic mess. In Tudor City during the Manhattan-Henge sunset, an NYPD vehicle had a brief exchange with pedestrians crowding the roadway to get the perfect shot. A parked H2 Hummer had been allowed to stop there, and the officer told people to step aside so the vehicle could get through. Things got even messier when traffic held up a real emergency. The NYPD was rushing to respond to a call but got stuck in traffic, with drivers initially refusing to move out of the way. And just as that cleared up, another unit ran into the same problem. An NYPD van, clearly in a rush, was blocked when traffic ahead wouldn't move into the intersection. Despite lights and sirens, the van was stuck waiting. Things weren't moving much better on the streets. 2 NYPD units got blocked by anti-Trump protesters in Midtown Manhattan. The crowd filled the street, holding up traffic and making it tough for officers to get through.
Street!
And while that was happening, another group of officers hit a different problem. On June 1st, 2014, NYPD stepped in to shut down a Bushwick block party right at 6:32 p.m. as planned. A sergeant pushed to clear the street, frustrated by delays like a food truck in the way. He used his siren and warned of summonses to get things moving.
Go in the restaurant, go get drunk, I don't care. Go to your girl's house, buy one of my t-shirts, buy some of the art, go in the beer tent, get some beer. But get the fuck out of the street, please. Thank you, the open grass. That shit, I'm gonna turn it. They charge me for that shit.
Not long after, more officers ran into trouble getting through. 12 NYPD units were responding to a call, rumblers blaring as they pushed through traffic blocking them. Another unit faced the same problem. An NYPD cruiser got stuck in traffic near West 45th Street and 10th Avenue in Hell's Kitchen. With sirens and the rumbler going, the officer tried to get cars to move so they could get through. A different unit struggled to make its way through the crowded streets. An NYPD police car was trying to get through heavy traffic in Times Square using the siren and horn to nudge drivers forward. The officers were clearly trying to move fast, but with the streets packed, there just wasn't anywhere for cars to go. That wasn't the only unit struggling to get through. An NYPD police car was responding against traffic in Midtown Manhattan, blasting the rumbler siren to get people to move. Officers were clearly in a hurry, but with how packed the streets were, it took some effort to clear a path. And just like that, another unit found itself in a similar mess. An NYPD unit had to push through over 2 minutes of heavy traffic using a rare high-low siren and the PA system. They were responding urgently to a fender bender that was blocking the street. And that wasn't the only time traffic brought everything to a standstill. An NYPD unit got stuck in a typical NYC traffic jam while responding to an emergency in Manhattan. Despite lights and sirens, the packed streets made it tough to get through. traffic didn't let up for others either. An NYPD cruiser was using its PA system to get drivers to move while trying to get through heavy traffic. They were heading to a building fire on West 45th Street in Hell's Kitchen. The streets were packed, but the officers kept pushing through to get there as fast as they could.
Back the car up. Back the car up.
And if you like this video, then you might like a similar one on the left or my newest upload on the right.